Hello. Welcome to Joseph Prosperity Strategy. Proverbs chapter 13 verse 22. A good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. Let me ask you something real. And let's be honest about the fear. Are you terrified that your life, for all its busyness and effort, will ultimately be forgotten? That your story ends with you. Legacy is not measured by followers, fame, or fortune. Legacy is when your life becomes a seed, an intentional deposit of character, wisdom, and faith that keeps multiplying after you're gone. Introduce the concept of a spiritual will. We all focus on a financial will, but have you written your spiritual and relational will? Today we're talking about how to build a legacy that echoes for eternity. Stay with me until the 8-minute mark. I'll break down the 3 legacy laws that can fundamentally shift the direction of your family, your community, and your spiritual bloodline for the next 50 years. Proverbs chapter 13 verse 22. Slow down the analysis. Inheritance. It means an allotted possession, a heritage. Emphasize the phrase, children's children, 3 generations. The Bible shows us that God doesn't just grade our life by what we do. He grades our life by what we propagate. When God makes a promise, it spans 3 generations: Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. Why? Because He is asking us to think in continuity, not finality. If God is asking you to think 3 generations ahead, what is the intentional, foundational value you are establishing today that will survive the shifting culture of your grandchildren's world? Your life is not a cul-de-sac, it is a highway of promise. And today is the day you choose the direction of that road. Abraham was asked to sacrifice comfort, control, and immediate certainty. 1. Legacy begins with intentional obedience. The decisions you make today, to start tithing, to reconcile with a family member, to stand for integrity at work, become the moral currency your grandchildren spend. 2. Legacy multiplies through modeling altars. What did Abraham leave Isaac? Not a big house, but a pattern of worship. He taught Isaac how to build an altar and who to worship. If you don't model intentional faith, they will model your unintentional anxieties. 3. Legacy requires sacrificing control. Abraham had to give up his vision for the future and trust God's timeline. True legacy is the freedom to know you won't see the harvest, but you're willing to plant the seed. So ask yourself, what altars are you intentionally building in your home, in your business, or with your time that will teach those who'll come after you how to truly worship? Focus on the transfer of authority and fire, not just the crowds. See Daniel Kolenda and the team continuing the work. Notice the intentional shift. Bonnke did not build a ministry centered on his charisma. He built a ministry centered on the mission and the people capable of carrying it. He built successes, not just an audience. His true wealth wasn't the ministry's size. It was his spiritual sons and daughters who caught his fire and were given the competence and authority to run the race after he was gone. Investment in people is the only inheritance that cannot be taxed, spent, or lost. Great leaders think succession from the beginning. If the dream dies when you die, you built a monument, not a legacy. The "I'm no Abraham" objection with powerful, quiet dignity. Legacy doesn't start famous. It starts faithful. Your influence on the one person you mentor, the one child you pray for, the one client you treat with radical integrity, that is the seed of an eternal echo. Legacy is built every time you choose purpose over pleasure, and character over comfort. You don't need a microphone to leave a mark. You just need to live in such a way that someone's faith is stronger, their marriage is healthier, or their business is more ethical simply because they knew you. 1. The law of vision. See beyond yourself. Action. Write a legacy statement, 1 sentence of intentional impact. Intentionality. Define what the world should be missing if you suddenly vanished. This forces you to think contribution, not consumption. 2. The law of investment. Build people, not just projects. Action. Commit to mentoring one person, formally or informally, this month. Share wisdom, skill, and faith. The multiplication principle. Your impact is multiplied by those you pour into. If you teach one person, your life becomes 2 lives. 3. The law of integrity. Protect your name, the core inheritance. Action. Treat your reputation like your most valuable inheritance. Do not let compromise, carelessness, or small sins destroy what your calling builds. Quote, amplified. When you walk in integrity, your shadow becomes a safe place for others to walk in. This is the inheritance your children can't lose. Think about it. 50 years from now, when someone mentions your name, what will they feel? Relief that you're gone? Or profound, eternal gratitude that you lived? I want you to comment below. What one value do you want to intentionally pass on to the next generation? Let's establish our collective spiritual wills right now. Reiterate the power of a messy past turned into a manual and the reality that legacy is for everyone, not just parents. Recap. God calls for generational faithfulness. Your assignment: write your statement, mentor one, and protect your name. Live in such a way that heaven celebrates when your name is mentioned. You're not just living for today, you're shaping tomorrow. Next, we move to creativity, how to stand out in your field with divine innovation. Because legacy isn't just about what you build, it's about how uniquely and effectively you build it. Don't miss, like and comment.